Music resumed. Neighbors cheered. Apologies were forced. The power she thought she had evaporated instantly. I reminded her of three things. She left humiliated, furious, powerless. And the party. It continued, louder, brighter, and more joyful than ever. The neighbors were ecstatic. Families who had been intimidated and fearful were suddenly uplifted. Kids sang louder. Laughter returned. People thanked me for standing up, not just as a mayor, but as a neighbor who understood the spirit of Christmas. The decorations sparkled brighter that night. Lights twinkled, music played, and for the first time that evening, every single person felt safe, happy, and victorious. It was a reminder, even in a world full of people trying to control you, there's always justice waiting for the bold. Karen learned a lesson she will not forget. She saw firsthand that arrogance without knowledge can backfire spectacularly. In our community, we celebrated not just Christmas, but victory, unity, and fairness. If you've ever dealt with overbearing who members, power-hungry neighbors, people trying to control your life, bullies who think they are untouchable, this story is for you. Watch how instant karma unfolds, how the right authority changes everything, and how a community can come together to overcome harassment. Would you confront her Karen, or let her take over? Comment, karma, if she deserved. Perfect. We're going even deeper, turning your story into an extended narrative that can almost serve as a full YouTube video script. This will include dialogue, suspense, neighborhood drama, and SEO keywords naturally woven in, fully optimized for it was the kind of night you see in movies. Snowflakes drifted lazily from the sky, catching the glow of Christmas lights strung along every house in the neighborhood. The scent of pine mingled with hot cocoa and baked cookies. Families were everywhere, kids running around, laughter echoing across the cul-de-sac, and the music of holiday classics played softly, creating that perfect warm glow you only feel during the holidays. Everyone was happy, everyone except one person, her name, Karen, or, more specifically, who Karen, the type of person who thinks a clipboard gives them the right to control lives. This story isn't just about a Christmas party. It's about power, control, entitlement, and the perfect moment when karma catches up, with a little help from me. Weeks earlier, the community had been planning this Christmas party. Volunteers had spent hours decorating, arranging tables, and preparing meals. Neighbors who barely spoke during the year now felt connected. It was more than a party, it was unity in action. The night began perfectly. Children laughed, neighbors chatted warmly, and the scent of cinnamon and roasting chestnuts filled the air. A gentle snow started to fall, adding magic to the scene. Little did we know, the storm wasn't coming from the sky, it was coming down our street in the form of her Karen, SUV parked like a tank, clipboard in hand, ready to inspect every detail. Karen stepped out of her car, scanning the scene as if she were inspecting enemy territory. Her eyes were sharp, calculating, cold. The first words out of her mouth shattered the peaceful night, this gathering is unauthorized. Music is above approved decibel limits. Decorations violate her standards. You are all in violation and subject to fines. Parents exchanged worried glances. Children froze mid-laugh. Even the dogs seemed to sense the tension. Her clipboard shook slightly as she waved it in the air like a weapon. Karen was confident, smug, and utterly convinced she had the law of the neighborhood in her hands. You need to stop this party immediately, or I will call the authorities, she snapped. At first, there was stunned silence. People didn't know how to respond. Some tried to explain that party had planned this Christmas party for weeks. Families decorated their homes, volunteers cooked food, kids rehearsed carols, and neighbors who barely spoke before finally felt connected. It wasn't loud. It wasn't chaotic. It was Christmas. Then suddenly, an SUV pulled up. Out stepped her Karen, clipboard in hand, lips tight, eyes scanning like a predator searching for violations. She didn't say, "Merry Christmas." She didn't smile. Her first words, "This gathering is unauthorized." She claimed. She even tried to confiscate decorations. That's when I stepped forward. Calm, collected, unbothered. I asked her a simple question, "Are you sure you want to do this?" She laughed. She said, "I run this neighborhood." I reached into my coat pocket and calmly showed her my official mayoral ID. Her face went pale. I introduced myself properly, as the mayor of this city. The same city the HOA operated under. The same city responsible for permits, zoning, and enforcement. Silence. The clipboard lowered. The confidence disappeared. Within minutes, HOA threats vanished, music resumed, apologies were forced. She laughed when I warned her, because she still didn't know who I was. Kids were crying, neighbors were furious, and she was smiling. I reached into my coat pocket, and everything changed. Identity reveal, public humiliation, horror defeated. It all started on a cold December evening. Snow gently falling, lights twinkling, children laughing, neighbors gathering. Our neighborhood Christmas party was supposed to be a moment of joy. A celebration of community, love, and holiday spirit. But as every story of chaos, a woman obsessed with rules, control, and the illusion of authority. She had done it before, stepping into gatherings, scolding neighbors, issuing fines over the smallest perceived infractions. And that night, she had her eyes on our party. The night was calm. Families set up tables, kids rehearsed carols, lights shimmered over carefully decorated homes. We had waited for weeks for this night, planning every detail with love and excitement. But then, an SUV rolled into our street. Out stepped Karen, clipboard in hand, scanning every corner like a hawk, face tight with judgment. Her words were sharp, almost rehearsed. This gathering is unauthorized. Music is above approved decibel limits. Decorations violate her standards. She waved her clipboard as if it were a scepter of power, expecting everyone to obey. Parents were confused, children stared, and neighbors began whispering, stunned at the audacity of this intrusion. Karen didn't just want to enforce the rules, she wanted to erase our joy, to assert dominance over our celebration. Karen's threats went small. She demanded that the music stop immediately, that tables be removed, and that the party be shut down within minutes. She even went as far as threatening fines, police involvement, and legal action. At first, people froze. No one wanted to challenge her. But the atmosphere shifted. You could feel tension rise. Conversations stopped. Children's laughter turned into anxious murmurs. Neighbors who had once felt safe in their homes began to doubt if the night would survive her interference. Her arrogance was palpable. She looked around and said, smugly, I run this neighborhood. My word is law here. That's when I stepped in. Calm, collected, knowing full well the rules that mattered. I didn't shout. I didn't raise my voice. I asked a simple question, are you sure you want to do this? Karen laughed, assuming she was untouchable. She had no idea who I was. Slowly, I reached into my coat pocket and pulled out my mayoral ID. The moment she saw it, the air changed. Her eyes widened. Her face drained of color. This wasn't just another neighbor. I wasn't just a resident. I was the mayor of this city. The very within seconds, the tables turned. Community gathering. Others mentioned it was Christmas, a time of celebration and goodwill. But Karen wouldn't hear it. She waved them off. She demanded compliance. She threatened fines. She even suggested she might confiscate decorations. The confidence in her voice sent a shiver down the street. She had overstepped boundaries, and for a moment, it felt like the magic of the night was gone. I could see the fear on neighbors' faces, the unease spreading like wildfire. Calmly, I stepped forward, measured, unshaken. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I simply asked, are you really going to do this? Karen smirked, assuming I was just another neighbor. She believed she had total control. That's when I reached into my coat pocket and pulled out something she would never expect. Her smug smile faltered. Her confident posture wavered. She realized, too late, that she had underestimated me, and she had underestimated the law. Within seconds, the tide turned. Music resumed. Children laughed again. Neighbors cheered. Karen, once the embodiment of control, now stammered, unsure of what to do. I reminded her gently, but firmly, public holiday gatherings are protected. Her rules do not supersede city law. Harassment of residents can have serious consequences. Her face turned red. She had no choice but to retreat. Within minutes, she left, humiliated and powerless. The neighborhood erupted in celebration. Music turned up, lights seemed to shine brighter, and laughter returned tenfold. The Christmas party that Karen tried to ruin had transformed into a moment of victory and unity. Neighbors approached me, sharing relief and gratitude. One elderly neighbor said, we never seen anyone stand up like that before, not even the city council. Families who were fearful now felt empowered. Children who had stopped singing resumed their carols with joy. This wasn't just a party anymore, it was a statement, no one can take away our happiness. Not rules, not bullies, not Karen. Understanding true authority, knowing when rules are real and when they are empty threats. Calm courage, acting thoughtfully and confidently rather than reacting emotionally. Community power.